Cara Diario. My name is Sarah.
Careful, Ginny. You don't want to step into troubled waters and lie to me about your name. There's some law and order about that. They shoot divas, don't they?
Oh, sorry, Ads. I was out of line. Forgive my indecency and my wishful thinking. It's taking over my body and soul at the moment. I'll call my bodyguard just in case.
Well, I hope he has the hunger for something more, as 13 moons are aligning in the big house, and the prophecies state that we're about to bring back the last days of disco.
Well, whether we be in 4 rooms full of blood and concrete, not even a devil in a blue dress can stop us from interviewing our next guest.
How about we round up the bride, her sons, the princess and the cobbler before we start this?
Oh, good idea, Ads. And maybe just to stop the grudge too, in a house divided, ask Roger Dodger and the runaway jury as well.
I'm calling all the night owls, even those who have a fear of flying, to our anniversary party.
You know what? I suddenly have the urge to use the L word, but I best not break a leg as we're about to enter into a flash dance with Jennifer Beals. Welcome to the Hump Day Crew.
Thank you. That is hilarious. Was Book of Eli in there? I couldn't tell.
No,
I don't know if I got that one.
That was a bit of a challenge.
That was funny. That was cute.
Jennifer, being Australia's only gay and lesbian radio station, we know you best through your role as Bet Porter from the L Word. Now, with the show just wrapping up last year, are you still riding the wave of the aftermath of how successful the show was?
Now, did it wrap up for you guys last year? Well, gosh, it feels like the time has gone by so quickly. Has it only been a year? Wow, it feels like a lifetime. It feels like so long ago. It's odd. And yet, in some ways, it doesn't feel like that long ago because I've been working on this photo book, sort of documenting our time on the show. So I see pictures of everyone all the time, but, you know, clearly we haven't shot anything in over a year. So I'm in an odd sort of time warp, I guess.
Working on this photo book, has it been very reminiscent, putting it all together?
Yes, I mean, of course, it's brought back all kinds of memories, and I think most of all, it's just reinforced my appreciation of having been on the show and having worked with these amazing women, and we just were incredibly fortunate, and it was a really extraordinary time, I think, for all of us.
Now, this book is a photographic journal which features scripts and memos and even 400 unseen photos that you've taken.
Well, you wouldn't have seen me when Laurel Holloman was about to give birth in real life, and she was at the hospital, and I was still on set, and I know that she had gone to the hospital and that she was deep into the second stages of labor. You didn't see me running around like a chicken with its head cut off, just so nervous and excited and nervous and waiting for her husband to call me and wanting so badly to call the hospital and trying to refrain from, calling too often and just trying to get my mind around my work. And you wouldn't have seen me after having news of the baby being born safely and soundly and knowing that everybody was okay, I think collapsing in my trailer with relief and happiness.
Jennifer, just from what you've said there about Laurel Holloman's journey of giving birth, it just seems that a show like this, with this kind of content and this kind of influence on a community, it seems that you guys were really, really close in that show.
I think that we all became really close, and we became close in the way that family is close. You know, I mean, at first it starts out that you're all individuals, and then you become friends, and then you really become family because you've gone through so many things together over such an extended period of time. At least for actors, it would be an extended period of time doing a show like that for 6 years.
Before you had been involved in the show...
I think also, I mean, I have to say, I'm sorry to jump in here, but I think it's also about working on something that has meaning. You know, you're not just working on some, procedural show that may or may not have meaning for someone. I mean, clearly the L Word had meaning for a lot of people, and so I think it made it that much more meaningful for us.
And I believe you were inundated with letters from fans and how you'd actually made a difference in their lives?
Yes, I mean, I don't know about inundated, but certainly there were so many really, really lovely letters that I received that really helped me in my work. You know, those days that I was really tired or want to complain or was frustrated, I just remembered the letters that I had received, and those truly helped me persevere through my own challenges.
Well, obviously Showtime approved the L Word off the back of Queer as Folk. Do you reckon if Queer as Folk hadn't aired before the L Word that the L Word would have been received differently?
I have no idea. I'm so bad at speculating at things like that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think the two kind of went hand in hand.
Yeah. I mean, certainly it opened the door for the L Word, but I don't know if it would have been received differently. I don't know.
And before you'd actually got involved in the show, had you had much to do with the gay and lesbian community?
No, not at all, really. I mean, I had, friends that are gay, but I wasn't really knowledgeable at all about issues that affect the community at all. Not a clue. All I knew is that the gay and lesbian dances were the best at college. So those were pretty much the only ones I went to. Because the music was just better. It was just so much cooler. So much cooler. And there was a woman at Yale, Sarah Pettit, who started, I believe, Out magazine. And I always wanted to be able to dance like her. Like, she was just the coolest. She was such a cool dancer. Like, she was just very groovy and nonchalant. And I couldn't do it. I wasn't that cool. I'm just not cool. I'm like the least cool person on the cast by far.
Oh, we think you're pretty cool.
No, trust me.
Okay.
I swear.
Okay, we got that in recording, we do realise, Jennifer.
Now,
I know. I'm just confessing. It's my confession. What can I say?
was there anything that, I guess, was it a big learning curve, learning more about gay and, lesbian life and what kind of goes on being part of the show?
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I learned what a dental dam is. I learned what what is it called? A Twinkie, I think it is. A Twinkie is, and all kinds of things. And the one thing that really kind of blew my mind, more than the dental dam, was how you can date someone, break up in a truly acrimonious way, and then yet still be friends a month later. That doesn't... In my experience in the heterosexual community, that doesn't really happen all too often. And Eileen just kept assuring me, you've got to understand that the community is much smaller. So you're bound to run into each other again, and it doesn't make any sense to hold grudges forever and ever and ever. I said, you probably will date that person again.
Jennifer, you were just saying before about how many things came to light when you took upon this role. This role has obviously landed a few philanthropic roles for you as well, hasn't it?
I guess philanthropic just seems so grand. I don't feel very grand. I, certainly have become more involved with the community and feel that if my presence can be of help in any way, then I'm happy to lend my services. And to that end, the money that the book generates will be all given to charity.
Oh, that's absolutely great.
So, it's great. Especially in a recession, it's really great when so many organizations are really, really suffering because people don't want to part with their money. But, if they have something that they want to buy, then that becomes a different scenario. And if you can use the income from the book to support various organizations, then, everybody gets something.
Jennifer, with your book at lwordbook.com, there's 3 charities where all proceeds from the book goes to. Can you tell us a little bit about why you selected those 3 charities in particular?
Matthew Shepard Foundation, I just have always loved. I think Judy Shepard is remarkable, and I was really dedicated to supporting the organization, especially in their efforts to get the Matthew Shepard Act passed, which it did in October 2009, which was very exciting. Mia Kirshner's organization, I Live Here, I think is really extraordinary in the work that she does with all kinds of populations, initially refugee populations, and right now I think even right this moment, she's in Malawi organizing a reading and art program for prison there, and she sent me pictures of this garden that they've made in the back part of the grounds, and she's very, very dedicated to what she's doing, and it's about creating community and about using art to express yourself no matter where or what you may be going through. And then Pavlov, it just meant a great deal to me because it deals with children, and a very dear friend of mine, her son passed away a year ago from a terrible cancerous tumor, and she started a foundation, and I wanted to support her, and so there you go. And hopefully in success, we'll rotate out the organization, so 3 new organizations will then be able to benefit from the book. So I'm really hoping that the fans will support the book and that it can keep on going and keep growing the proceeds and feeding these various organizations.
I believe you can also order a personalised copy at lwordbook.com too. What does this personalised copy entail?
My feeling was that the show didn't just belong to the cast or the crew or to Showtime for that matter, that the show also belongs to the fans and the people who were invested in its storylines. And because this book is like a journal or a family album almost in a way, there's a section of the book at the very end where people will be able to upload their own images into the back of the book. So if you have a picture of you and your girlfriend or you and your dog or whoever is important to you, then you can put those pictures at the back of the book. And in the front of the book, you'll be able to personalize the dedication. If somebody, for example, wanted to buy the book as a gift for a friend, but they didn't want to have the book sent to them first and then they send the book out to their friend after they've put in a personal dedication to it, they can do that electronically. They can put the dedication in the front page electronically and have it sent directly to their friend.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I mean, I just think it's really interesting. And the first time I saw the ability to upload the pictures to a book, a static book, was with the Obama inaugural album. And, so many people were involved with that campaign. So many people really dedicated so much time to that campaign. And they were really a part of his victory, truly a part of his victory, that it only made sense that they should also be represented in that continuum of that event, or the continuum of history in a way. So, I have my little Obama inaugural album where I have pictures of me campaigning with, Eileen and my family in Washington for the inauguration. And it's nice. It's almost like a family album as well.
Jennifer, I wanted to ask you about a couple of other things that reading about you just intrigued me. You've done quite a lot of horror movies. Are you a bit of a fan of the horror movie?
Some of them. Like, I really love vampires. I do love vampires. I love the mythology of vampires. And there are certain mythological aspects to certain, classical horror characters that I'm drawn to.
If you could be a vampire, would you be a vampire?
Gosh, that's such a good question. Well, it depends on what the rules of the game would be. Like, if I could go out in the daytime, there's a possibility, but I'd have to figure out what would my past life be and who I was as that vampire.
True.
Because obviously I wouldn't be me because I haven't been around long enough. Like, I'd obviously want to be somebody who is incredibly intelligent and kind and wonderful and incredibly powerful and who had learned all kinds of things. Like, I wouldn't want to be the dolt who had spent 3 centuries on the planet and never learned to play piano or something.
Fair enough.
I want to have a few skills, maybe painting or architecture or something.
I'd be a bit bummed because I could no longer eat garlic bread, which I'm a bit of a fan of.
Yeah, that would be a drawback. That would be. I don't know. I'm going to have to rethink my plan then.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big factor.
Garlic is very, very desirable. Perhaps more desirable than immortality. I don't know.
Jennifer, speaking of the movies that you've been in, one thing that was actually pointed out by an Italian friend of mine is a movie where you played yourself, where you actually spoke Italian, Cara Diaria. What was it like playing yourself but speaking another language? Was it hard to learn Italian?
Well, I wasn't really playing myself Nanny is so much fun, and he's really obviously such an amazing filmmaker, and we got to the set, and he said, I just want you to improvise, and so I said, okay, and he doesn't speak English, or at least he certainly didn't at the time, and so right before we shot, he said, so what are you going to say? And I said, I don't know, you asked me to improvise, so I'm going to improvise, and so I just all improvised. It's interesting to play yourself speaking another language, because quite often when I speak another language, I don't feel like myself. Oftentimes quite a relief, frankly. But it was fun. It was fun. You just get to experience another side of yourself.
And talking of different languages, you also know sign language and taught your daughter as well.
Yes, a little bit. I know a little bit. I'm not very, very good at sign language, but I know some words.
And you taught your daughter, is that correct?
Yes, yeah. We still sign every now and again,
Wow.
especially when we want to tell secrets.
Did that have anything to do with Marlee Matlin at all, or is it just something that you wanted
It
to do?
actually started before I started working with Marlee. It started before then, and then that accelerated the whole thing. And then that's when I learned that a lot of those different programs, like they have, baby sign language, those programs, they aren't really American Sign Language. They're a version of it that's for babies. But my feeling is, well, why not just teach them American Sign Language? Then they're actually learning another language at the same time.
Wow.
So I just taught her American Sign Language.
Well, Jennifer, you've obviously told us a lot about what you've been up to with lwordbook.com. What's coming up for you for the rest of 2010?
That's a good question. Well, I did Book of Eli last year, which was so much fun and really such a great experience. And I just finished a movie called Night for Dying Tigers that was also an extraordinary experience, probably the most extraordinary experience I've ever had on a set. It was a $300,000 film, like nothing, no budget. But the things that we dealt with and the way that the director conducted the set and my co-stars were so extraordinary, really, truly extraordinary, that it was just the most amazing experience I think I've ever had on a set. Like, just so loose and very trusting and very focused all at the same time. And actually the director and I are talking about doing another project together. So we'll see.
Is that movie released yet, or is it due for release soon?
No, he's just cutting it now. He's just editing it now.
I have to wait. Now, one thing we like to do with all our guests here on the Hump Day Crew is we have a game to get to know you just that little bit better. It's called 101 Questions.
Oh, no. You're scaring me already.
Oh, well, we're not going to ask you all 101 questions. We're going to get you to choose a number between 1 and 101, and we'll ask you the corresponding question. So hit us with a number, Jennifer.
0.
Oh!
I hate quizzes. I so hate quizzes. I hate quizzes. It's one of the things that makes me so thrilled that I'm not in school anymore.
Well, you can't.
That there are no quizzes.
We'll ask you one question from our quiz. What are you addicted to, Jennifer?
I'm addicted to my daughter, I would say.
Did becoming a mother change your life?
Sure. Absolutely. I can't say that I'm addicted to my daughter. It's just because an addiction has a negative connotation. It's just that I adore her so deeply that it's just hard to imagine what my life was without her, as cliche as that sounds.
Well, Jennifer, I believe where you're at the moment, the sun is about to go down, so as a vampire, it's safe to go outside. We're going to let you go. Thank you so much for chatting to us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to be thinking about that vampire question quite a bit now.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? I'd have to say no. I wouldn't be a vampire. Because you know why? I'm really kind of perversely looking forward to what it is going to be like to die. And I wouldn't find it out, and that would be annoying. It's just as annoying as not being able to eat garlic, I think.
That's the real reason, isn't it, Jennifer?
Yeah, I think so. You brought up a very good point.
Thank you.